All right, welcome everyone. This is a special webinar. It's a free Viper webinar, and we're going to talk about trailing stops today once you're in a trade and how to keep those accounts funded, even if it's your own personal account, by the way, or if it's Apex or EarnMax or Top Step or any of those, how to keep them funded. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading room, everything that's said and done at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, Forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar. Other webinars I have, live trading room or anything else with Viper Trading Systems, should ever be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Now, for y'all that haven't been here in a while, I see some names I haven't seen in a while. We sent out a pretty good sized invite and everything. We had an OTC webinar recently with Online Trading Central. We also had a really nice webinar with Ninja Trader. And so we invited a bunch of people into our room for, a couple of weeks and everything. So today we're gonna go over a few things, and I'll make you an offer at the end of the webinar too. But first, I want to go over a little bit about Viper Trading Systems because there are some new people in the room and they don't know me. And basically, Viper Trading Systems started in the year 2009, literally 14 years ago in May of 2009. At that time, I had a business trading partner named Charles. And Charles has since went on to be with the Lord. He passed away last year. So basically, I'm running Viper Trading Systems along with my wife. She takes care of all of the licensing issues, anything like that with Ninja Trader. We have great support, been around a good long time calling trades, and I'll continue to do so as long as the Lord keeps me here on this planet. And I do, have a great website that's got a nice homepage with a trial and everything. I'm going to go ahead and show that to you. This is the standard disclaimer right here. But if you go to vipertradingsystems.com to our homepage, you'll notice on our homepage that we do have, we usually have even a special on Apex, because we are affiliated with them as far as, basically getting people that like to get accounts funded. We do have TeamViewer help. I do have free training webinars. If you've never seen our webinars, just click this button, sign up, you'll get a login. There's no charge for it, and you can watch some nice videos. We do have a 7-day trial. If you haven't had that, now if you have had that, but you haven't seen some of our new stuff, then if you click that, it probably won't give you a trial. We'll have to do it a different way. But if you haven't seen our new stuff, we would encourage you to do that. Okay. Now, basically on Viper Trading Systems, I'm all about teaching people to see futures trades in real time. I run a trading room 5 days a week. That trading room is open from 10 minutes till 8 Central Time until 10 a.m. Central Time. In 2 hours and 10 minutes, you will be given probably around 10 to 15 trades that I think you can pretty much take to the bank because we do quite well on trade calls. And that's one of the real strong points of Viper Trading Systems is the trade room. We have also developed institutional indicators and a strategy called Object Trader that'll also assist you in taking trades, which I think you'll really like. I'm going to show that in just a moment. And we do have, in my personal opinion, of course, I might be a little biased because I own the company, but we have, I think, some of the best support out there. If you need to contact us here at Viper Trading Systems, you will notice if you go to the contact link on our website that you will see, let me just do that for you right now. I'm on the contact page right now. All you have to do is click this button right here. Okay. You'll notice that our business hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You do have a number to call me right at my desk. You don't have to, even with the biggest vendors out there, you have to still go through email nowadays. Well, with us, you don't. You can call me. Now, I don't answer the phone during the trading room. Linda will, because it might be a licensing issue or something like that. She even helped a person get out of a trade yesterday that had an issue with NinjaTrader. And we do also have email. You can reach me. I don't read my email usually until after the room closes. So if you email at like 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that, I probably won't get back with you till sometime in the afternoon, because I don't get to these emails till the room's closed and when I've quit my trading and things. I am also on Skype as Viper Trader. So if you just download Skype, it's a product of Microsoft nowadays. You just download Skype and look up Viper Trader, you'll find me. Okay. And so really, and also we do have a chat widget nowadays too. This little chat that's kind of pulsating at you. You just click it and you can simply go to chat support. We have a really good sophisticated system to take care of our people. And whether you're on trial or a member, a full paying member, that doesn't matter, because obviously if you need to get a hold of me, just click this chat button and it'll actually show up on my cell phone. And I could be even walking around in Costco or Walmart or, eating out or something like that, and it'll still alert me that you signed up for a trial, or, you just signed up for our pro plan or something like that. This is in real time type stuff. So, and also this goes to 3 other cell phones. So if I miss something, the other 3 cell phones will probably let me know that I need to take care of you. Okay. So we do have extremely good support. And personally, with being with different vendors over the years and everything, I think that's one of the most important things and most of them are lacking. How many of you have tried to get a hold of somebody and you have to just go through an email? You've got an urgent problem and their email, they get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. Well, you didn't need 24 to 48 hours, you needed right away. So that's the way we run our company. Okay, so that's just a little bit about us. And we do strictly use NinjaTrader. Okay, that's the platform that we built everything on. We are on NinjaTrader 8, so all of our scripts are updated to NinjaTrader 8. And we'll probably continue staying with NinjaTrader because I like them. They've been around a long time and we really like them. Okay, now let me show you something here. Basically, I have webinars all the time and I'm going to teach you how to see trades, because to me, the most important thing you can do is see the trade so that you can make those decisions to take those trades. Okay, and what I normally do, like on a Monday night. Now, by the way, let me go over one other thing first before we go further. Bear with me a second. I forgot to show you something. Once you're with us, whether you're on a trial or whether you're just perusing our videos, or if you're a full-fledged member, you have a login. Now, as you progress through the pipeline, your login will access you to other things. For instance, I'm a Viper Pro, so therefore I can go to this login right here. And this brings up my members area, my video library that I just told you about. I've also got my weekly links to get into the trading room each and every day. And I've got a download for my latest scripts, just in case I get a brand new computer or something like that and need to download. Now, keep in mind, if you don't understand how to download Ninja or import it, I'm here to help you. I use TeamViewer every day of my life, and you just simply go to our homepage and download it. If you go to our members area, for instance, you're going to find lots and lots of trading manuals. You're going to find archived videos, that hundreds of hours of recordings. You can't not learn how to trade our system if you just simply go into the training materials. I have webinars every Monday night. This was the last one. I'm very prompt about posting these things, so they're always updated. This is simply 3 days ago, Monday night, 4 days ago now. So you'll see that this is the very latest webinar. We have quick videos on how to use some of our scripts. Look at all those webinars, by the way. Quick videos for using Object Trader, and even some more advanced ones for using Object Trader. Okay. What you want to do every single day when you get ready to trade is you want to diagnose your chart. What direction are you heading? Okay. Now, once you get into a trade, one of the most important things you can do is to keep as much profit on that trade as you possibly can. Any of you that have been with like Apex or EarnMax or gosh, most of them out there as far as that goes, Lilu Trading even, um, they have what they call a trailing threshold, okay? And what that means is that once you hit a high, let's say that you start an account today and you hit $1,000 and you say, hey, I'm a great trader. But let's say before you close that trade out, you end up at 750. Well, you're technically in $250 drawdown. So therefore, of their $2,500 drawdown, you're at about a 10% of it. See what I mean? So therefore, you want to make sure you get out as close to these tops as you possibly can. Okay, and that's pretty easy with our stuff because, we draw lines on our charts. We know where they're heading. I called a trade on oil today that I believe it hit, I think it was like 82.21 if I remember. Uh, that was one of our trades that we took this morning, and it nailed it really good. And so we draw on our charts and we don't let it pull back against us. The key to making money in trading is to hold a runner, but also to take your coin as soon as you can. I want to show you something here just real quick, just to let you know what's kind of going on. I started teaching my son to trade literally 10 years ago. But then at that point, life got kind of in the way, so to speak. He got married, ended up having 3 wonderful children that are now our wonderful grandchildren, and working full time, that type of thing. And he literally just about literally a couple of weeks ago now decided to start getting back into kind of doing some trading and everything. Kids are growing up a little bit more, give him a little bit more time to, get at a computer. So I started teaching him again. This is what I do with each and every one of you, by the way. When I'm in that trading room, I'm teaching you how to see the trade on my scripts. Now, if you were to throw me into, somebody else's charts that they had some kind of indicator that they had built and they traded 15-minute charts, I'd probably be lost, okay? I trade price. Price is the only way that you can trade that you're not getting lagging indicators and things like that. You see the price, you make the decision on the price. I give you some good scripts that help you to make that decision because we do have trending indicators that are not lagging and even entries to get you in the trade. Okay, but let me show you something just real quick. Just literally started on my son just like I said, a couple of weeks ago. And bear with me a second, I got to get my Skype here. He sent this to me. I'm going to show it to you. Okay, this is actually his account right here. Okay, now he Skyped this to me this morning. He was profitable each and every day to get funded. Okay, that's important. Okay, this morning you notice that he didn't trade his PA account. The reason he didn't was because he got up at like 5 in the morning. Okay, actually at 4:45, if I remember, that's what he told me because his wife gets up that early. And somehow his Ninja Trader had done away with his license and had gone to SIM. It gave him a SIM license, and it even went to SIM on the tools global SIM. And he didn't know how to fix that because he, was not as familiar with Ninja Trader 8 as I am. So he waited for me to get up. So he missed this beautiful trade right here. Okay, but then he had to go to work, so he just missed this entirely today. But we saw a gold trade, took it right here on a little box, boxed it in, and got $410 on one of his other accounts, which is not funded yet. Okay, so what he did, he actually bought 4 accounts, and Apex had these on sale at that time for like 16 bucks, which is very reasonable because, for instance, he's already got $1,168 just funded on Monday. Okay, and that's very important because that means, he's already gotten an average of about 380 a day, and that's not bad. Okay, you can do better than that, obviously. I have traders that do 2,000 and 3,000 a day, but this is the way to get an Apex account and keep an Apex account and keep it funded. Now let me show you something else too here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and go over to his rhythmic data right here. You'll notice that, by the way, my last name is his too, Donahue. I'm Gary, my son's Randy. Okay, this is his actual account with Apex. Now this is very, very important when you're trading. Notice that on his PA account, okay, his threshold, auto liquidate threshold is 51,180 and he's at 51,168.92. So he's literally only down $11.08 on his drawdown. That's very, very important because if you want to stay funded, you want to stay in the upper end. That means he's getting out at the top. Or in the case of a short, he's getting out at the bottom. That's what I teach you to do. Okay. Now notice even on this one that he traded today, this one was 50,476, but he really auto liquidate peak balance was 50,403 and 7 cents. So that means he's literally only down $3 and looks like about 69 cents. $3.69 is his drawdown. That is what you want to do, because if you get that type of thing going in your trading, then this can grow from 1,100, by the way, that's only 3 days, to then what, 14 the next, 17 the next, 2,000, 2,300, 26, 29, and you get the picture. You can grow steadily. Now he's got a full-time job, so this is just actually extra income for him. Now I don't have a full-time job. I run Viper Trading Systems and I also trade for a living. So, you know, you can make as much as you want in trading or you can make as little as you want in trading. But the key to it is to make money in trading and also to get out of the trade at those tops. Okay. As you know, clearly see, you don't have any worry on this because he's not near a drawdown at all. Okay. So when he trades tomorrow, he's pretty much got a $2,500 drawdown still that he's okay with. Okay, so you never let it take your money from you, in other words, okay? Now, let's look at this chart right here because I'm going to show you that trade. And by the way, he saw this, but for some reason, his Ninja Trader literally had gone bonkers. And matter of fact, when we even went to his configuration on his Apex, his username and password were missing. So he didn't know what to do. So I just simply went to his Apex account, got his username, password, copy and pasted it back in, took him off SIM, put his Apex license back in, and he was good to go. Okay. But he was very smart because he didn't just jump into a trade just to be trading. Okay. But let me show you how to see these trades. This is called lightning right here. Okay. Now lightning is an indicator that will kind of let you see the trend. Okay. You can clearly see that you've got highs, you've got lows, you've got higher high, higher low, higher high, little lower low. But remember, that's a day, that changed a day. So then you start your count over. Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So are we in an uptrend? Absolutely, we're in an uptrend. Now, if you take lightning 2 and draw it from this point, this is where you're actually at right now, approximately, because this does do swings. Okay. So then what you want to do is you say, okay, if it's way up here, I kind of missed a trade, so I got to get a pullback. So I've developed a tool that I think you'll really like that's called an auto fib. Let's go ahead and do the other one here real quick. I like one for shorts and one for long. It's just for colors is all. Okay. But if I simply go to here and click on this swing, this will pull up these boxes right here. Okay. Now, by looking at this box right here, I know where I want my pullback to be. Okay. On this little bit of a burst right here, I kind of want it in this little sweet spot right here to right here at the last of it. Okay. Now that I've diagnosed this chart though, I want to see what the chart really looks like with the actual prices on it. Now I can do this one of two ways. I can actually just simply open my template again, or I can go to a chart that actually has my prices on it. So I'll just do that. So here's your CL, and that's where we're at that point. Okay. Now, how many of you that miss a trade, because let's face it, If most of you live here in the continental U.S., you missed that trade because that was at 3:30 in the morning. So what do? Do you just jump in right here and say, well, you know what? I think I'll just go ahead and take a trade long. No, you got to wait for a retrace. People that jump in late, then they end up holding it and then get hosed. I mean, literally taken, and then you've got your Apex account, and instead of being up for the day, you're down for the day and then praying that you can get it back. Well, we don't trade that way. We like to simply take an auto fib, start it up. This is even a good fib instead of down here. And this little move right here, I'd kind of expect it to come into this area right here because I like to look for about a 61% retracement on a small move. Okay. Now we've got a trader in Object Trader that's called the power dots and the trend power dots. And this is a huge little deal right here because let me show you something. If you right click and go to strategies, if you've got my scripts, and go to strategy and double click on Object Trader, see that's OT Object Trader. OT stands for Object Trader. It's just an abbreviation. So when we're on your Ninja Trader, it stays in the O's. Okay. And then we just simply, this is in playback because I want to show you a few things. And then you click to enable the strategy like that. And then you click OK. All right. Now, all I really need to do is either put a right click type trade here, which by the way, just like Chart Trader, we have right click trades, which are pretty cool. You just simply right click on the chart and put in like by market if touched. There's no data right now. I'll have to turn the data on first. Bear with me a second. We'll let a bar go ahead and try to move a little bit so we can get some data. Bear with it just a second. If it'll move for us. If not, we won't be able to do it, but I'll be able to show you some stuff anyway. No data. Well, that's all right. I'll show you a different way. All right. I'll go ahead and go to the actual chart because I want to show you a couple of things on here. And we'll just talk about this instead of doing it because I downloaded some data. But the one thing about NinjaTrader that is literally on their playback, their NinjaTrader 8's not the greatest on their playback, which I don't, you can't make money playing back to begin with, but it does help you to kind of play with the scripts and see what's going on. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, there is no data there. That's weird because I did download it. That's all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kill this. And let's go ahead and let it do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and go into an actual live chart and show you the trade setups. Bear with me just a moment. All right, and I'm going to go back on the chart and show you where we're at. See if we're on the right date here real quick, because sometimes if you go into playback mode, you don't get on the right date either. Looks like it's not. Bear with me 1 second. I'll change that to the 31st, and we'll be good on data. And I'll show you those trade setups. Still got the line drawn on the chart. Okay, so basically what you're going to do, okay, remember we said you didn't get up at 3:30 in the morning, right? So you can't chase a trade. Now, if you do chase a trade, it's got to go your way the full time. You cannot let it go against you because then you're going to get more than likely a retracement. And we're retracement traders, okay? Now, we have some tools in Object Trader now called trend dots, and they're called power trend dots and also just power dots. And see this little blue dot that appears right here, okay? These little green dots that appear right here. Watch what happened at 5 o'clock in the morning. See that green dot appearing? That's actually not deep enough. And also you want to use your fibs too, okay? And look what this did. It came perfectly down to that Fibonacci that I had drawn just a few minutes ago. Remember? Had it drawn on the chart. And what did it do? It bounced. See those beautiful dots right there? Now, what I like to do sometimes is on Object Trader, just go ahead and tell it, I want a maximum of 2 contracts, and I'll fire one here and another one here on those dots. Or you can simply use a box and box it in and take the trade also. Now, we've got some really cool tools in Object Trader that will actually draw that box in real time and even fire the trade for you. It's called an auto region. Okay, so just think about that. You get a beautiful trade setup like this, comes exactly to our auto fib. And by the way, our auto fib, when you draw it, see when I drew it from here to here a few minutes ago, notice that it pulled right to that 61%, but auto fib would keep drawing for you as this goes up because it's a true auto fib. And wherever you anchor it is where it's going to draw from. That can be very beneficial in your trading, because how many of you have drawn fibs before and then you go, well, I got to redraw that one? Well, with an auto fib, you don't have to worry about that. Okay. Now, what if you missed entirely? You weren't up at 5 o'clock. It's way up here. Are you going to chase this trade way up here? Let's just say you got up at, I don't know, maybe you got ready to get your coffee ready at 6:30. You got back to your trading desk and it's now 6:41 and you go, well, doggone it, I missed that trade. See what I mean? So what are you? You're a retracement trader. So you're going to wait for the trade to retrace to a beautiful mid-band type trade. See that dot appear right there? How about that? Those type of trades are golden. This agreed with predictor. By the way, this is called the predictor. Now I want to tell you how to really stay on the right side of the trade too. Our scripts will simply draw green backgrounds, long colored midbands. Now our long colored midbands go from a yellow, which is sideways, to this lime green, which is a stair stepper, to a blue, which means it's session high. Okay, notice that oil's been in session high literally all morning. Okay, you don't go taking short trades unless you're a scalper until you get a trend change. Okay, now we had this little trade, and by the way, if you were in the room this morning, we nailed this trade right here also. Okay, that turned into a beautiful trade. But let me show you something that you're going to want to really train your eyes to see. Okay, and that is the fact that when you get into a trade, okay, you want to make sure you draw trend lines under it. Okay, let me show you why. We're just going to go literally a bar at a time, and I'll show you. Since my data didn't work, we'll just go change that, and let's see if this is going to let me do this. Well, it's not, so we'll do it a different way. We'll just go a bar at a time ourselves. There's a bar. There's a bar. See that bar going downward? Now this is called a predictor right here. Okay, that's predicting this price action. Okay, so when you see that, if you got in this trade down here, do you see how you could actually keep the most money on that particular trade? Because you can. Now, keep in mind one other thing though, okay? What you want to do is you want to try to get a thrust, a retrace, a little retrace. Now, you don't want to come all the way back down into here, because this is what will eat up your Apex accounts, your Earn Max, any accounts that you have out there that are funded. Because see, they count it. Let's just pretend that you just got a brand new account and you took my first trade call in the room. Let's say you took this with 2 contracts. So you got in at, well, let's say you just got in right across there at about 82.69. Okay. So 82.69, it hit a high of 92. By the way, that was called in the room this morning to take profit. That's another way that I'll show you. It's called a measured move. And I know some of you know those, okay, because they work quite well. All right. But the way you hang on to your money in your Apex account, or even on your own personal account, is don't let this thing retrace against you. Watch what happens. You're already giving up 12 ticks. Now it's getting a thrust retrace, okay? So if that bar goes up, The next bar goes up. Guess where you'd put your stop? That bar's going down. Now you got a high, you got a low, you got a lower high. So couldn't you say, you know what? I think I'm going to put my stop right there. Why would you do that? Because on the micro side of things, if that does a high, a low, a lower high, and a lower low, then guess what? It's not heading up anymore. Doesn't mean it'll head down yet. It just means that you want to get out of the trade. See how it bounced off of it? Now you've got a high, a low, a lower high. Still, you're out for your runner. Okay? Out. Okay? Why would you take that out? Anybody? Let me draw it for you. There's a high. There's a low. That's lower high than that, right? So this is what you're looking at on your trends. By the way, I have people ask me all the time, what are those little displays over here on the left? Those are called power meters. And what they do is they see this action like this. If you were long on this, this would turn red. That's telling you, get out of that trade, get out of that trade, get out of that trade. Okay? So let me ask you a question. If you had an Apex account and that was your first trade, and you took off one contract all the way up here at 91, 92 that I called in the room, you got yourself 69 to 90, let's say 91, 22 ticks. That's a $220 bill, and you're giving up from 92 to 79. You're giving up 13 ticks. Okay, so now you have 22 ticks plus 13, or you gave up 13. So out of the 20, what did we say, 22? Yeah, you gave up all but 9. So now you're up $310 on that trade, unless you took both off up here. I did call it out in the room, by the way, so some of our people even took it off here. But if you didn't, then you needed to take it off here. That's how to keep an Apex account funded right there, okay? Because when you leave for the morning, if you just started a brand new account and you had to hit a high and you pull back at all, that's called drawdown, okay? And with those people and with EarnMax and with, Lilu and those, they definitely look at this. And the best trader is the one that get out at the tops. The next best trader is the one that tries to keep a runner, but does not let it do a micro, what we call a micro lightning. They want to get out of that trade. So then after that, you're going to want to go ahead and draw your fibs again. See, this was a nice big thrust to retrace. Okay. So kind of a double top. So I like to draw my fibs from this area right here. And you can see it. Let me show you why I see that though, because it's only fair if I show you. Draw lightning from down here. There's your lightning. Okay. So high, low, higher, high. Higher, low, barely higher, high. Not what I call an identified swing. Okay. So if you draw your fib from down here, you're looking for your next trade. We actually took this trade in the room too. I told everybody in the room, okay, we did have one trade set up right here. I'll show it to you. It actually came down to a mid band. We boxed that in. Now, when we box this in, we box this just like this. If that goes out of that box, we're long. Never went out of the box on that one. Okay. People that took it at the mid band, then they got it back out because it went below the box. See, there it didn't, but there it wicked you in anyway. And then it went up a little bit more, then it took it out. Okay. But look at your Fibonacci though on here. We were looking, since it didn't do a mid band, we've got a rule in our room called no mid band trade. It's going to be a phantom instead. Okay. Now, phantom trade is in the deeper quadrant down here. Okay. This is your trade setup right down in this area right here. Okay. And what did oil do? It went down in that area. It changed to our phantom background. We nailed a trade right here. And what did oil do? instead of bouncing off of 61 like we thought it would, it went up a little bit and then went back down. Went up a little bit and then back down. And we thought, okay, oil, you're being kind of a not such a nice instrument today. But our Phantom people put their stop at line 0. Okay. Now, did we feel a little bit of heat on that trade, or could you have gotten out of it and back in? Yes, and I did call that also. So some people got in it, and the moment it went back in the top of the box, they got out. Then they went back in down here. And it even went a little bit lower again. See that? But notice my mid-band stayed yellow. That means that our algorithm picked up the fact that this was still a long trade. It did not crook down and start heading down like it would if it was going to break down. So we actually grabbed this trade. Matter of fact, I even called this trade in the room, and it bounced fairly quick. I got filled at 54. What did it do after that? It came back in the box again. We didn't take it off because you know what I told people in the room, and this is the way I teach. I said, if we get a higher low than this low right here, we're going to stick this out. Because what is the definition of an uptrend? Anybody? You get a low, you get a high. What would the definition of an uptrend be? You would have to get a higher low, right? And did you get a higher low right there? Well, you don't know that you got that until it takes this out. This is your key when it takes this out. Touched it, went back down again, and we thought, okay, oil, you're starting to get our goat. But we still had our stop in. What did oil do after that? We nailed that trade. And we nailed it because our scripts told us to. It told us to stand down, don't take the trade off the table. And we nailed that trade. Went right up to this 92 area and rolled over again. And that line was drawn in the room, and a lot of our traders literally took coin right at 92. I even said if it went above 92 and back down through it, get out. Okay. Did we get another trade after that? That's a mid-band trade. See that blue dot right there? This is a mid-band trade, and we box these in all the time. Did this trade work out for a long? Absolutely. So if you actually took these trades that were just called in the room today, okay, just going to go over a couple of them, okay? We weren't open here, so I can't claim that trade. Did I take that trade this morning? Yes. This trade was called in the room this morning. So let's say that you got that $310 I told you about. So let's just say add $310. This little trade just darn near took us. And since we didn't trust it, I only went with one contract. So let's add that one up. We went in at 54. The trade went all the way up to 92 again. So what is that? 54 to 92? That's 38 ticks. That's a $380 trade. So there's 690. All right. Then this trade was called, and we like to get a thrust, retrace thrust. Your target's right up here at the time, right? You're trying to get up there. And then you can already see your stop, right? See your high, your low, your higher high. Your stop is literally right there if they come back against you. Did they? No. That was a beautiful trade. We just tell our people to draw trend lines underneath the lows and then get out of the trade. See those lows right there? Then get out of the trade. So we already said 690, right? So let's say you did this one and took off, well, let's say you took one off here. So you got filled at, say, 76 and you got out at 98. That's 22 ticks. So there's $220. And then you went all the way up here and got taken out here. So let's say that's a $440 trade. So you got 690 and 440. Is it time to quit? I would say so. I would absolutely say so. Now, we also teach that you can tell where the line in the sand long short is too. See this high, this low, this higher high? We also look for these breaks to head the other direction, which sometimes they do. This was another beautiful trade right here that was called in the room. And I won't even add it because you already got over $1,100. But that trade was also called in the room this morning live because of these auto fibs and because of those power dots. Okay, so you can make some serious good coin in our room. And I even proved it with my sons. I've sent out emails. I'm not going to even show mine bragging about it, anything like that. I just showed you that even teaching someone from fresh that hadn't even done it for 10 years now. And believe me, 10 years ago, we were on Ninja 6.5. It's not even the same scripts or anything. Object Trader wasn't even in the mix in those days. We had the kind of the look of the charts and everything ever since we went in. But, you know, my son had to really learn everything over. Now, one thing I want to tell you, though, is that you will not learn this system in a day or two. You can be the smartest person on the planet, retain everything that you learn, and you still won't learn it that quick, okay? Because there's a lot to it. And I'll be the first to admit to it, because you can take a box trade, you can take a trend line trade, you can take a bar close trade, you can take a power dot trade, you can take a predictor trade, you can take a lightning trade, you can take every kind of trades imaginable. Then you have to learn the trailing stops that are automatic, which I haven't even shown you because we didn't have the data running, okay? But it's clearly a good way to trade. And let me show you something too. If you get a trend change, okay, let me show you. You draw on your chart, see your high, your low, your higher high. You got a high, low, lower high. If it breaks this, you're pretty much heading down. If it breaks this, you're for sure heading down, okay? But our scripts will actually catch that because this actually did happen. I saw it as I was opening this webinar earlier. See how my scripts changed? See how that's no longer a blue midband? It's a stair-stepping, what we call a stair-stepping down midband. That's a magenta midband. So what's your next trade call on this particular chart? Short. But again, you wait for the retrace. What did it do? It went down, it went down, it went down, and it went back up. And there's your retrace right there. Now, could you have taken this trade short? Absolutely. We call this trade in the room all the time. I would have shorted it right here on a little box. I would have for sure shorted it when it broke this one, because on my left side of the chart, this is my high, this is my low, this is my high. On the right side of the chart, this was my high, this was my low, this was my lower high. So this is a little sweet spot to get the trade. But if you're close to another level, just draw the box a little bit bigger and you still got the trade. Okay, but if you missed it, this is that same thing that I just talked about. You're not up at 5 a.m. You missed the trade at 3:30. So what'd you do? You got the trade at 5:15 or whatever time that was. What about this one if you missed it? There's your trade. Everybody see it? What'd it do? That'd add you some more coin pretty quick. Okay, so we've got some good scripts. They'll make you a lot of good money every day. I run the trading room from 10 minutes till 8. So I'm actually in that trading room roughly about right here. Right about there. Okay, did we take a trade right there? No, I told my people, I said, stand down unless you want to chase this thing. So what trade did we get? Called it. Nailed it. That was $330. Okay, so if you can do this type of thing on a daily basis, then you'll do exactly what I just showed you on my son. This is real stuff, okay? This is his true account, and he just literally started it. He got funded in 9 days, 9 days of trading. Apex will fund you in 7, okay? You can pass it in 1 day if you want, but you still have to trade 7 days total. But this is his account, it's live, and this is his total. He did not trade it today, as you can clearly see, but he did trade one of his other Apex accounts, which was right here, and he got $410, okay? And he did it exactly the way I teach. You can do it too, and I can bring you in with Viper trading systems and give you some of the best indicators that anybody has, period, on the market. There's nothing that beats Object Trader. It's hands down, I think, one of the finest tools out there. And I think you'd really amazingly enjoy being a part of our system because it really, really works. Okay. So let's see, quite a few of you came in. How many of you trade for full time? Just curious. And by the way, if there's any questions also, don't hesitate to ask them because I'm not one of those trading rooms. If you're in my trading room, to give an example, I don't disparage anybody. If you ask the dumbest question that ever was asked in trading, it just means that you don't know what you're doing yet. It doesn't mean that it's a dumb question. I've been in trading rooms before where the actual moderator would say, keep your mouth shut until you've been in this room for 6 weeks. Don't ask a single thing, just watch and learn. Well, that's not the way to learn. The way to learn might be to ask, Gary, why did you take that trade there? And then I'll stop everything I'm doing and say, the reason we took that trade right there is because it matched exactly what we wanted our criteria to be, and we nailed the trade. And these were truly live trade calls in the room this morning. If you were in my room this morning, you would have heard them. Trade call. Faked us, but we held it. Big move. Could you have held that trade? Yeah, but I don't hold them below mid-band. But that was another trade call. Boom. Another trade call. Boom. So if you just traded oil today on the trade calls, 1, 2, 3, 4 trade calls, you were done for the day. Now, one thing, if you're trading like Apex and you get past a threshold, you're home free. Like what I'm telling my son right now, as a matter of fact, is that once he gets past this threshold, see, this threshold is really important right here. That means he can't go a penny below that, okay? But on a funded account, once he does get past $53,100, his drawdown drops to $50,100 and it stays there. And it doesn't matter if you get to $100,000, it still stays at $50,100. So that is a great way to trade somebody else's money. They give you $25,000 is your money. After that, they're 90-10. And it's a great way to trade. That way you don't have to take 10,000 out of your own account and explain to your wife why you blew it and then go back one more time before you really learn how to trade. We've all done it. Anybody that's been in this a long time has done it. Because I can tell you this, that before there were funding partners out there and you started a $10,000 account and then you got it down to 7,500, then you started trading with scared money because you're scared of maybe the wife that said, why'd you take my 10,000 and turn it into 7,500? That's not growth. See, but if you do somebody else's money, like Apex to give an example, you get these trades and you pepper your account with good money, and then you just contact Apex the 1st to the 5th, get paid on the 15th. 15th to the 20th, get paid on the 30th. And it's like clockwork. They'll pay you, you'll pay your taxes, and everybody's happy. All right, any questions on any of this? What I want to do is see each and every one of you come in and be a part of the team. I am definitely the real deal. I absolutely call trades in real time. I don't blow smoke on anybody. If I miss a trade, I'll just look at it and go, well, didn't get that one. But it's no big deal because like my trading partner of years, Charles Boyle, who passed away last year, always said, if you miss your plane, there's always a bus, there's always a taxi, there's always another way. And that just simply means that, hey, you might want to look at ES, you might want to look at 6E, you might want to look at YM, you might want to look at NQ, but they're all avenues to making you money if you learn them. Okay, so real quick, I want to bring over something here and let me get it copied and pasted so I can get you in here. Bear with me just one second. All right. I'm going to invite you to be a part of Viper. Okay, now Viper, like I said, has been around for 14 years, so we're not some Johnny come lately that's going to be going out of business. If you go to our website, our normal pricing link, I'll just open it also. You will see that Viper is actually $3.99 a month. Okay, is that not really cheap? Well, not really, but I paid personally 100,000 out of pocket for Object Trader alone. So, it is what it is. But we're not going to charge you that. Okay. We're going to actually bring you in at 150 less than that for 249 a month. That's in perpetuity. You don't have to go up on price. Okay. I've had people go on vacation and say, "Hey, Gary, I came in at 249. Will you let me do that again?" Yeah, because you came in on my special, I'll let you do it. On this link right here, and I'll go ahead and copy and paste that into your link here. Bear with me a second. We'll put it in the chat log. And just copy that, and you'll be able to get that price right there. We use a company that probably everybody in here is aware of called PayPal. We also use a company called Stripe. So if you don't have a PayPal account, they'll set you one up, and they really just basically just charge your credit card. But if you did want to come in on Stripe instead, you just don't come in on PayPal. You come in on Stripe instead, because you can do PayPal or your credit card. Okay. And once you're in with us, Linda will get an email. She will get you started set up on your licensing and everything. If you happen to get a new computer or something, don't worry about it. Just give us the machine ID on NinjaTrader. We'll activate your scripts. Okay. Everything that we do is licensed. It's encrypted. Somebody that's not with us can't get it. For instance, my login goes to everything, but somebody that just logged in and got free videos, to give an example, would only be able to get into this area for free videos, even though they have a login. But once they sign up with us, then this would actually get them into the full deal. Now, not this price, just go with this price right here. And I just messed it up, just a second. Right there, and there's $249 a month right there. Okay. Can I count on a bunch of you? Love to have you with us. If you've even looked at our reviews, to give an example, we've got 5-star reviews. People that go, "Wow, this is incredible." Even since Charles passed away, I have done so much with Object Trader that you won't believe. I mean, I've added things to Object Trader that make trading so easy that it's unreal. To give an example, didn't we just talk about those retracements just a moment ago? Look at this right here. If you went to your auto fib, was that a 61% retracement or not? Could you be in that trade and already up $300 since I even started talking here? Absolutely. And we've got the tools to do it. Okay. When did this change trends? Anybody? Well, look at the mid-band. The mid-band said, "Whoa, wait a minute. We're not going short anymore. What are we looking for? We're looking for longs." And you get in at these beautiful spots. And this auto fib, like I said, this will do in real time. Matter of fact, I might be able to show you, because if this closes above that swing, see, it's calculating from here to here. But now if this bar closes, watch that dance up just a little bit. See there? Auto fib moves. So guess what? It'll calculate your next move for you. And that I know of, nobody else has an auto fib like this. I paid personally out of pocket for this, had my programmer, who is a great Ninja 8 programmer, build it for me, paid him like $2,000 for it, and I give it to everybody. This is free with our scripts. Everything you see on this screen that I've got, you'll have. You'll have Object Trader. I'll go ahead and bring Object Trader up. And then we're going to wrap pretty soon because we're almost an hour. Okay, let's see here. We'll do just in sim only, just real quick, and I'll bring up Object Trader for you. Bear with it one more second. I've got a new feature built into Object Trader that I've got to go past. Click it, and we should have it. One more second. Got to enable it. There we go. Ninja can be a little cantankerous sometimes, but it works perfectly in my opinion. Okay, here is your Object Trader right here. Now this is in sim. When it's in charcoal color like this, it's in sim. When it's in green, it's your live money or Apex or whoever. But to give you ideas of what we have a region trader. You can simply click region, hit insert, and it'll draw a little box. You can move that box wherever you want it, fire a trade. We've got an auto region, which you just simply do the same thing, hit insert. This one draws in real time. And it'll actually, once you get to your trade area, you can then turn on your trades. Got another one here called mid-band trade, bar close trade, wedge trade. Wedge trade is simply, if you wanted to take a trend line type break, you can just simply draw a trend line on your chart and it'll take that trade for you. Your trailing stops, lots of trailing stops on here. You can trail, for instance, if you got in this trade right here and you're seeing it's already going up right now, trail it with like line 5. You can do it with our power trend trail. And like I say, you won't learn all this in one day, but I've even got an exit on close feature. Nobody else out there has that. Not that I've seen anyway. They might, since they would have had to copy my idea. But this little trade right here, that means that if you're long and you put your stop under a bar, it has to close the bar. How many of you have been wicked out on a trade? Well, this will keep you from being wicked out on a trade because it does what's called exit on close. Okay. And anything I do to Object Trader, you'll get free of charge because I've added lots of things to this, and there's not a one of my traders that's paid a dime extra for it. Got traders all over the world. I mean, literally Germany, Australia, New Zealand, Great Britain, you name it. Most of our traders in the US, but we've got lots of traders all over the world, and they don't even trade necessarily our trading room because it might be 10 o'clock at night for them or 12. So they learn the system and they trade on their own. Our whole goal at Viper Trading Systems is to teach you to see the trades. You heard the old saying, you feed a man a fish dinner, he'll be back for another one, right? That's kind of the way that our government works nowadays. You give handouts, what are they going to do? They're going to come back for another handout. Why not teach them how to make a living? When I was in school, they had VOTEC. You had community colleges and things. People didn't just stand in line, for everything. What I'm about here at Viper Trading Systems is I want to teach you how to see these trades, to take them, even if I'm not in the room, but for 2 hours every day, I'll be in the room. And if you hear these trade calls, that one, that one, that one, and that one, could you be up nicely? And by the way, I also called trades on gold today. I called trades on ES. Okay, so those were some other trades that did quite well. Okay, so again, we'd love to have you. I'm going to pull that up one more time, and please come and be a part of the team. And keep in mind one thing too, and I'm not saying this to kind of get people to think maybe I ought to do this, but I've had a lot of members say, hey, Gary, you've grown quite a bit over the years. We noticed that when you call a trade, they bounce pretty good or they roll over pretty good. That's because we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of traders that are taking these all over the world. There will be a stopping point one of these days where I'll have to say that we can't do it because, you might get a 10-tick different fill or something like that. If we keep getting members all over the world. There was a group of, I think it was Japanese ladies that used to meet every morning to trade futures years ago. I forgot the name of them. You could Google them, but they literally controlled the market because they had like 1,000 members or whatever, and they would literally, if they went short, the market went short. That can happen if you have enough people trading. And we want you to be a part of a great system, but we also want to make our money too. And obviously, we want to get in at the exact right spot. That chart I just showed you, our little trader would have taken that trade right there. Now, I wouldn't have taken this one because was that a 61% retracement at the time? No, that's not a big enough move for that small move right there. You get the bigger moves, I'll take that mid-band trade. You get the smaller moves, I'll take that trade. And you could see if I redrew the fibs, you could see that that was that 61%, but see the auto fibs counting automatically. It's stair stepping. So you can actually be ready for the next trade by just simply saying, you know what? I'll just put my auto fib on like right here, and we'll start counting this puppy. Let me get one. We'll get this one off. We'll put this one on. There it's green. I think it's because of my lightning. There we go. All right, so this is going to count. So now that I've got a thrust, then I'm waiting for the pullback. See how that's drawing automatically? This is one of the best tools you'll have in your arsenal. It alone would be worth the price of Viper because this will make you coin. But if you were drawing fibs manually, would you see this? You know, for instance, this little trade here, that's gone from 24 to 75. That's 50 ticks. I'd be looking for a trade right around this area right there. Okay, so come join us and be part of the team. We'd love to have you. And if you do happen to decide to join today, rest assured that I'll even get your scripts going so that you could trade with us tomorrow morning. Okay, so copy this little link right here, and I'll put it in the chat log one more time. Y'all have been a great group this morning. Thank you very much for coming to see what I have with Viper Trading Systems. And you'll be one of those that one of these days soon would be saying, hey, I'm glad I did that. Because I could tell you this, I've got some people, I could name Arjun right now. That guy's been with me literally for 14 years. Alex, he's been with me for 14 years. I've got a core group of people that have literally stayed with us through all of it. I've got others that have been with us 7 years, some 9 years, some 3 years. So we're the real deal, and we'll show you how to do it. Okay? Thank you very much for coming. Hope you enjoyed the webinar. It was recorded. I will be sending it out here in just a little bit, and you're welcome to watch it again. Thanks again, everyone. Have a good one. Adios. It wasn't very many, was it?